Okay, Dave.
Yes, Max.
The wave.
Hey, guys.
I'm doing the wave.
Yes, it's a real thing.
It
I went to
is.
Walgreens to get, diapers. I walked in, and, the employee, a young lady, and, her grandma did the wave for me. It was awesome.
There you go. I started something.
We are locked in. We are starting a movement.
So we are ahead of the game. Let's toot our own horn here. So
I love this.
we're always coming up with hypotheticals, trying to theorize, predict. Half the time we're right, half the time we're wrong. Doesn't matter, right? As long as you have fun. No,
Yeah.
we're pretty much always right. But anyway, so I was like, Dave, seriously, we have 18 out of 26 All-Stars who are on different teams. Why not predict where these people go in the next 3 years?
It was 3 years ago,
Yeah,
the All-Star game.
I believe so. Yeah.
So in 2015, it was the East versus West All-Stars, and usually, if you're an All-Star, you're a really good player, you're a franchise player for your team, your organization. But in 3 years, we saw that it's been a NBA player movement league. Everyone's on different teams,
Yeah.
almost everyone. And how many out of what was?
I think it was 18 out of 26.
That's incredible. That's staggering.
Yeah, and not only is it staggering, it's almost where the NBA offseason has almost become greater than the regular season.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's talked about.
Takes over the summer.
Podcast.
All the way up until the NFL season, we talk about where our players going to go. So we want to give you guys our predictions on where these All-Stars will go off this last All-Star game, the LeBron versus team staff, and then the reserves, the people who got injured. So 3 years from now, we can look back at this episode, see where we were right and where we were wrong.
Okay. You want me to start?
We'll go with the roster, obviously, and
Okay.
then those that stick out more, like LeBron James, like the bigger names, kind of have to dive in depth, or we
Sure.
disagree. So the first on our list, are we starting with Team LeBron?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did win.
On Team LeBron, you had Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, of course, DeMarcus Cousins. Yes, he was injured, but he was on the team.
Yep.
And Kyrie Irving.
Those were the starters.
Okay, so you go first. Are you going with KD?
Yeah, let's start with KD. So out of those 5 starters,
This is my paper, by the way, guys. This is a lot of research in here.
out of those 5 starters, I have 4 of them on different teams. How crazy is that when I did it? The first one, Kevin Durant, the New York Knicks. I'm calling my shot. I'm going out on the limb. I am a diehard New York Knicks fan. If you've been listening to this podcast since day one, I'm a KD. I'm a New York Knicks guy. It's a match made in heaven. He will have his championships. LeBron went west, and he went to the Lakers. If Durant wants to legitimize his career, the legacy, all that, he will go east and try to win championships and bring up the Knicks. I got Kevin Durant going to the Knicks.
Dave, this is going to be a great episode already.
Yes.
So, because of course, I disagree with you on this.
Okay.
And I see your side, though. You're not crazy. A major market. Who knows if Coach Fizdale, a better GM. There's rumors James Dolan steps down as the owner.
Yep.
Like the Mecca, everybody wants to play there. This one was tricky for me because I had 3 teams. Of course, I'm going to give you one. I was thinking the Lakers. If he's not going to beat the Warriors, maybe win more rings. Go with LeBron, major market. There's going to be more free agents that go there, teaser. Maybe the Wizards, where he's from in Washington. But no, I think he steals a page out of LeBron James' book and he goes back to Oklahoma. I really do. I think he goes back there. And Washington, I just think it's not going to be the best fit for him. I don't think he goes to New York. I don't. I think other players go there and that may take up some cap, but I think Durant goes back and he tries to right his wrong because everybody thinks that he betrayed Westbrook. Everybody thinks he was a coward. And what is Durant known for? Rabbit ears. Responding to people on Twitter,
Sure.
responding to people
Good
on
point.
Instagram of criticism. And his major criticism was leaving OKC to go to the 73-9 win Warriors. So if he goes back and wins, which I don't think he would, but if he goes back and wins, it kind of just shuts everything up so people remember all those rings he won.
With that being said, it's phenomenal. It's a great point. There's valid reasonings behind that, all that. I'm like, okay. There's just one big, stick in the mud caveat. Whoa. The money. OKC has the least amount of money in the whole entire league. They have no cap space at all. So they would have to trade Paul George to get him back.
That's a good point, and I think they would do that, obviously.
I just don't see Paul George committing to him, and him and PG have a great relationship. I mean, Russell Westbrook and Paul George. And the trade, would they just do Paul George to the Thunder? To the Warriors for KD
if it was
straight up?
if it was a trade and the Warriors know Kevin Durant, they probably wants to leave. The dynasty's winding down.
Okay.
You get Paul George in return. Yeah, he's not Kevin Durant, but he's not far from it. He's that 6'9", lanky defender shooter.
That's kind of funny. I have Golden State making a big trade in the near future.
That's a second option, though, by the way, the Washington Wizards. Like, if he weren't go to Oklahoma, I see him going to Washington.
So in 3 years, you have him at OKC or Washington. You don't have him at Golden State. And I got him in New York. I only got one option. He's going.
I don't think he's going to L.A. either. No. Yeah, I think it's Oklahoma or Washington.
Cool. Sounds good. That's Durant. Second guy on Team LeBron, the power forward was Anthony Davis, and I'm calling my shot here too, guys. I cannot wait to have this episode 3 years from now. I have Anthony Davis joining LeBron James as a Los Angeles Laker.
Yes, I did it in 2K. I was playing around with it in my GM.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me work around this. I had Kawhi Leonard and Anthony Davis. I managed to get on the Lakers. I should be a GM. I really do believe so. And I'm like so excited.
Wait,
I really
you agree with this?
Oh, well, that was my GM in 2K.
Okay.
But
I was going to say, because this is like, I think I'm going on the limb. I think I'm kind of doing, I want to be hypothetical. I kind of want to be controversial. But this is what I really do believe. I think they get one more player, and then they do trade. I think the Pelicans know that AD wants out, and they do finally do that. Ingram, Hart, Kuzma, Ball, like all of them. They literally trade them all for Anthony Davis.
I promise you, these two players were the hardest ones for me to choose from. I'm like, I could see these three teams. The rest of the teams, I'm like, no, he's going to the Wizards. He's going here.
Mm-hmm.
But for Anthony Davis, I'm like, I think he either stays in New Orleans, like he's kind of made it known that he wants to win there, or be that guy. Some people don't want to chase championships necessarily. They just want to be that guy.
Sure.
I think the Celtics are going to be aggressive with him in the East, especially if Kyrie Irving leaves. I have the Lakers as my number one option as well.
I asked you that.
I think I said I know, but you were like in the middle of your rant.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you. I think the Lakers are the number one option. If I had to bet my money, I'm telling you, I have it on this paper.
I swear, guys, we haven't talked before. This is so back and forth. This is all. Okay.
He has a house in L.A. already. So, and then if you want to win, you go play with LeBron, and it's a major market. Talk about attention. Talk about the TV games. I think he goes to L.A., but realistically, I think all of these players can go to L.A. You can only choose a handful of them. So for the argument's sake, I'm going to say he goes with the Pelicans. He stays there.
Okay.
Like, just realistically, like you just said with the Thunder, with the money, with Paul George, realistically, he probably doesn't go to the Thunder, even though I see it. Because I have two other players going to L.A., and it's not Anthony Davis.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it's all three of them I could see. So I'm happy with all three of them. Don't get me wrong. If Anthony Davis is L.A. Laker, I'm beyond happy.
Very cool. Okay, so there's AD. Let's keep on rolling.
Can I start off with my guy?
Yeah, no, sure. The floor is yours.
Okay, King James, a.k.a. the GOAT, a.k.a. LeBron Ramon James. Got ahead of myself there.
3 years, 2021 NBA All-Star.
Yeah, he has a 4-year contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. No secret, he's staying in L.A., business mogul, family. His kid's going to be in high school. I'm sure he'll be established there, dominating. And I think he has faith in Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Bust. I think he really trusts them making the right moves and takes the pressure off of him. I think he stays with the Lakers long term. Maybe at the end of his career, he may go back to Cleveland just to get his jersey retired. But, yeah, he's going to be a Los Angeles Laker.
100% agree. LeBron James stays in L.A. That's my only guy on the starting team of Team LeBron that I have staying.
Do you know how good that sounds? I love the Lakers and I love LeBron. It's like, yeah, he's staying in L.A. Like, it doesn't get old to me. Yeah, it's still new.
All right, the next guy, DeMarcus Cousins. He was the center on the team. He was injured. Remember, Anthony Davis wore his jersey. But DeMarcus Cousins, he was a Pelican. Now he's a Warrior. In 3 years at the All-Star game, I have DeMarcus Cousins as a Washington Wizard. This is crazy.
I have the same exact thing. I have it right here on my paper. Washington Wizard. I think, yeah, he wins a championship this year, proves he's healthy.
And gets a max deal in Washington. Because Dwight's there. Of course, that doesn't work. The Dwight thing never works anywhere. And they're like, hey, but we do want a big, and he gets max deal.
And the other part of this is him and John Wall are former Kentucky players, so I knew they would want to play with each other and have chemistry. Look at that.
We had Anthony Davis go to Lakers. Like,
lastly,
you're the smartest man I know.
You too. So wait, we're just 1 and 2, 1A.
Yeah.
The Knicks, Kyrie Irving. I said it.
Okay.
The Knicks, Kyrie Irving. I think he's expressed interest in playing New York, and people say, "Oh, Brooklyn Nets, Jimmy Butler may want to play with him." the team in New York is the New York Knicks. It's the Mecca. It's where everybody wants to play. Kyrie Irving, when you always say when there's smoke, there's fire. I think Kyrie Irving will go and become a New York Knick.
I would love that, but I do have Kyrie Irving going to the Brooklyn Nets.
Really?
And I'm matching him up with Jimmy Butler. We'll get
Is that
there with
upsetting? Like for you as a Knick fan? Like as a Knick fan?
Because this is my.
You want Durant and Porzingis?
Yes, I really think. Okay, I'm a Knick fan, and maybe I think Kevin Knox will be like their absolute 3 of the future, like Jason Tatum.
Stud.
I think Tim Hardaway's a solid 2. Like, he won't never make an all-star team, but if you're, every team needs an Iggy.
Certainly, yeah,
on
yeah.
the Heat, the Mario Chalmers, when they were the Beatles. As a Cav, I'm trying to think of that player. Tristan Thompson, like a J.R. Smith, but a starter. And the one is Frank the Nictella. I think he's going to be a really good point guard. He's had a great offseason, and I think he's their future point guard. So it's just Durant. I think they get Durant. It makes sense money-wise. We re-up Porzingis, re-up Knox, keep that nucleus, and that's our strength is Porzingis, Durant, and Knox.
Talk about a young, lanky, athletic,
Switch
shooting.
Everything. Yeah, shooters galore. So I got Kyrie Irving going to Brooklyn.
Okay, so do you want to go to the reserves on Team LeBron before we go to the starters, or just go Team Steph?
Let's stick with the Team LeBron.
LaMarcus Aldridge, Bradley Beal, Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook, Victor Oladipo, Porzingis, John Wall, Paul George, Andre Drummond, Gordon Dragic, Kemba Walker. That's the reserves.
Yes.
Start off with LaMarcus Aldridge. I have him staying in San Antonio.
Dallas Maverick.
That's a good one, actually. That's a really good one, especially when Dirk leaves.
Exactly. There's something there with him and Popovich.
He's not happy.
In 2-3 years, he's just not happy. But he wants to stay in Texas. He wants no state tax. Dirk is gone. Dallas will have a good young team of rookies. He goes to Dallas.
That's a good one. I'm changing it. That's a good one.
Are you going with mine?
Yeah, I see that. No, I do see that. I was like, I just don't really see anyone who wants to pay for a big who's not the best defensively, and there's not really a spot for him. But no, Dallas makes sense. Like you said, no state tax.
Yep.
And they're going to want someone to replace Dirk as a shooter, power forward.
Yep.
Bradley Beal, that's your guy. You want to go first? Gator great.
And this is the big one. Golden State Warriors.
Wow.
Because
that's an interesting one.
I have Klay Thompson leaving the team, so they will need a 2.
Teaser.
And teaser. And then he's the perfect Robin to Steph Curry's Batman in the backcourt, but a great shooter, wants to win championships. He'll be like a 7-8 year veteran in the league, and it's time for him to win. Bradley Beal, Gator great, becomes a Golden State Warrior.
That's a really interesting one.
Because I spent a lot of time on my list. I thought of this through.
That's an interesting one, and obviously there's no right or wrong answers at the moment. So it's like that's a really interesting one. There was rumors that he would be a Laker almost this offseason. Like the Lakers expressed interest. So the chemistry with him and John's a little weird, like a little alpha male type stuff. I think he stays in Washington though, because if DeMarcus Cousins goes, I think they're the team in the East. It's like you have a chance to win. You're in the East. So for right now, it may change in a year or two, but I think Bradley Beal stays.
Okay, cool. Kevin Love. I have him staying in Cleveland.
Me too. I have Cavs. It's just he signed that big contract. He's going to make a lot of money in the East. He already has a ring.
Next, Russell, the great MVP Westbrook, stays in OKC.
Russell, selfish Westbrook, stays in OKC. Again, a guy who signed a big contract, tons of money. Kind of cut the legs off OKC. Like, they don't have a lot of room to move.
That's why I think Durant can't go back there. Because him and Paul George have huge contracts.
It's a legitimate point.
Okay, next is Victor Oladipo.
This is tough.
It was tough.
This was the hardest one for me as far as, I can't really decide on where he can go, because if he's the man in Indy and he makes money in Indy, some people prefer that over an opportunity to win a championship.
Okay.
I think he stays in Indy, but it won't surprise me if you see him as a third best player on a team, at all.
100% agree. I had 2 options. Number one, at the end of it, because some players do have to stay, and I got a lot of bench players on Team Steph leaving and a lot of starters of Team LeBron left. So I stayed with Victor. But my sleeper team was the Philadelphia 76ers. Like, he would be, to me, a perfect match with Ben and Joel.
That'd be a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
But if that happens, is because he had such great exposure being the guy for Indy against LeBron.
Yeah. It's the same thing, though. In 2 years, he'll be like a 7-8 year veteran, but never won anything. If he never wins a playoff series in Indiana, it's like, okay, I just got to go and win. Boston's set, LA's set, the Knicks will be set, and I think Philly's that team that needs that one more piece.
That's a good one. So next we have your guy Kristaps Porzingis.
Diehard Knick, 25 years. He'll be playing at 52 years old as a Knick. Will never leave.
Let's just make sure he's healthy before we get to 52.
You're
but
right on that.
You're right. I see him being a Knick as well. John Wall. I kind of gave it away when I said Bradley Beal. I think he stays.
He stays as well.
He's a money guy. He's an ego guy. He's the man. I think John Wall stays.
Yes.
Paul George. That's an interesting one because, like I said, if Durant were to go there, he would be a Warrior. But realistically, if I have Durant going to Washington or going to whatever he may go, I have him staying as well.
Me too.
He signed that big contract.
Yes,
He's made it clear.
Yeah, I think him and Russell Westbrook are really good friends. I think they're going to win a playoff series this year. They might even win 2. I think they're going to win. They're going to have a lot of success there in Oklahoma City, and he's making tons of money. And pretty soon, he's going to be one of those guys. He's a hard contract to trade pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to stay in Oklahoma City.
Next, we have Andre Drummond.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take this one?
Yep. I have Anthony Davis leaving. Cousins is gone. I have Andre Drummond becoming a New Orleans Pelican.
That's a good one. Do you think Jerry West would have interest in replacing DeAndre Jordan?
That's a pretty good one.
I mean, I was debating if he stays or if he goes to the Clippers, just because if it's a reasonable contract, somebody rebounds, plays defense. He's arguably the best rebounder in the NBA.
Cuzzo, you've done this with Aldridge. I am moving my pick. I like yours better. I think he'll be a Clipper. I respect that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
There we go. Gordon Dragic, I almost crossed out his name and put Ben Simmons in there because Ben Simmons should have been an all-star.
He really should. God, that was bad.
As far as Ben Simmons, I think he stays with the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes. But for Gordon, he's the type of guy where it's like he could end up on a handful of teams.
Pick one.
So for argument's sake, he stays with the Miami Heat.
Charlotte Hornets.
That's a good one. Can't argue with that one.
Charlotte Hornets, and because the next guy on the list is Kemba Walker, who is a Charlotte Hornet, I have him as a Sacramento King.
Oh, wow. I was about to say, does he switch and go to the Miami Heat?
No. A total max deal. The Kings, they actually have
Fox,
2-3.
They have like their point guard, quote-unquote, of the future in De'Aaron Fox.
He's a quote-unquote LeVar Ball League point guard. He had a really bad rookie year. They have a couple thicker, bigger guys, young, and I say Kemba Walker joins that team.
I have Kemba. I think it's another player. It's like, okay, there's been talks of him leaving for so long. I think he just stays. I think the Hornets aren't really the best run franchise. No disrespect to MJ. Whenever I can get a dig in there, I usually do, but I'm not.
Dig it.
I could see that as well, though. I really could. Someone offering him the max money just to get butts and seats kind of thing. But there we go. That's Team LeBron.
That's awesome. Team Steph. I love this idea. This has been awesome, Cuzzo. You lead the way with team stuff.
James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Steph Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think I say his name better than everybody other than Giannis.
That's the best.
And Joel Embiid. Let's start James Harden. I think he's a Houston Rocket for life.
100% agree.
Cool.
Yep.
DeMar DeRozan, I think he stays with the Spurs.
Agree. Because Aldridge leaves and they can't have him leave as well. They throw all the money in the world at him, and he stays.
This is team loyalty right here. Steph Curry, I think he stays with the Warriors.
100% agree.
Giannis, he wants to win a championship with the Bucks. He says he doesn't like the super team.
Agree.
And Joel Embiid, I think he stays with the 76ers unless he just can't stay healthy.
Yes, I have all 5 staying.
Look at that. We didn't talk about this.
Here we go.
You want to start off with Damian Lillard?
I do. I don't know why, I love all these ones. Damian Lillard becomes a Chicago Bull.
I have the same thing.
Are you serious?
I think he's a Bull, or I think he's like
a Laker. That's who I had, too. I thought about that a lot.
The Lakers expressed interest in him, but the problem is the people they may get.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't have him as a Laker. But I think he goes to a team. I think he leaves because there's been that weird, like, let's mix it up. Okay, this isn't working.
And the Chicago, out of all the teams, they're the team that don't have that marquee player. They have a couple really good young players.
Chris Dunn's not your point guard.
Exactly. So Damian Lillard becomes a Bull.
Jimmy Butler, I have going to New York with Kyrie Irving.
I would love that. As a Knicks fan, and if you say, Gosh, they've been horrible for 5 straight years. So all this I love. If that happens, I really would. I think I would like the Durant more because Durant's the second, third best player in the world, and 2, 3, 4 years. LeBron is getting older. Durant would be arguably the best player in the world. So I would like that. But if you say right now, Porzingis, Knox, Cantor, Kyrie, and Jimmy Butler, holy shit, I would love that too. But like I said, I gave it away earlier. Jimmy Butler joins Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn as a net.
There we go. Then Draymond Green, I have staying with the Warriors.
Out of the league.
Stop. Come on.
He could be. No, I got him staying at Golden State.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, he may not have the same dynamic play as he is right now because if Durant leaves and if Clay leaves, but I think he stays with Steph.
Okay.
Okay, Kyle Lowry.
Detroit Pistons.
I have a Detroit Pistons. There's a interest, there was rumors about him wanting to be a Spur.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Detroit, you have the old backup for Russell Westbrook and Jackson as the point. I think Toronto doesn't work out, especially if Kawhi leaves. They rebuild.
Just dump the salary.
Yeah, so now you have kind of like that name team with Blake Griffin and Lowry, like all these has-been type of players. I think he goes there. We also have Klay Thompson.
Yep.
May I start this one off, please?
The floor is yours.
Los Angeles Laker.
Agree.
His father commentates for the Lakers.
He played as a Laker. He was on the championship team with Magic and Kareem and Worthy.
Magic. If you were going to a recruiting room and you have Magic Johnson, LeBron James, the best player right now and arguably the best player ever, and he's the most people person there is.
And the greatest city in the world, temperature, weather.
Business, and the greatest franchise in sports. And arguably an NBA, definitely like the biggest franchise in the NBA. He becomes a Los Angeles Laker, and you're like, oh, well, does it fit basketball-wise? Fits immaculately. It's perfect. 3-and-D guy, LeBron James, spread out the floor. Clay hit every wide-open three.
Yeah. If I had LeBron James to match up any player in the whole entire league, you'd be like, oh, Durant's more talented, Curry's amazing, all that. Klay Thompson would be my first choice. Absolute first pick to match up with LeBron James. And second would be Anthony Davis. God, I would love that. That's a big 3.
How about, Kawhi Leonard was a all-star, but he was injured, so can we just jump to him very quickly?
Sure.
I think he becomes a Los Angeles Laker. I think at the end of the Toronto, whatever happens, whether it's the deadline, whether it's the off-season, I think Magic Johnson goes to him, LeBron James goes to him. Look, we need you. You are that glue. We need you to get us over that hump. So you have Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James.
The last cat in the hat, Kawhi Leonard becomes a Los Angeles Clipper.
It's not over the top. That's not a wild gamble.
Yeah, I think with the Lakers, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, LeBron, guys, if Kuzma steps up, if Kuzma averages 22 points a game, Kuzma becomes Klay Thompson, what he was in Golden State. So it's like, no, you don't want to trade him. He's cheap, and he's averaging 22 points a game. So I think with one of those studs, I don't think in a weird way, I know you'd be like, oh my, Kawhi doesn't fit. They have too much. And I think Kawhi wants to go to L.A. but be kind of the man and all that. So I think Kawhi Leonard becomes a Los Angeles Clipper.
I'm happy with having Anthony Davis, LeBron, Klay, Ingram, Kuzma, and Ball and Hart. I'm okay with that. Yeah. So that's kind of towards my locked in. Karl Anthony Towns. What do you got?
Stays in Minnesota. I have Butler leaving. What you got? Same?
He stays.
He becomes the team in Minnesota. I think him and Wiggins try to get it together and try to build something there in Minnesota.
A weird question is somebody who you even thought is like the next Tim Duncan almost, right? You said he has the potential to be the next best player in the league. Is this hurting his legacy by staying because nobody seems to win in Minnesota? And there's that weird issue with him and Jimmy. Yeah. He doesn't take it seriously. Is this a dent on his legacy?
Well, for right now, he's played on 2 All-Star teams, so there's no legacy. I think he needs to stay there and kind of pull the Garnett, try to build in Minnesota, try to win. Garnett won playoff games, won playoff series. He won the MVP in Minnesota. So that's what Karl needs to do. And then if he can't win a championship there, go to L.A., go to New York, go to San Antonio, go to Warriors and win.
I like it. And lastly, Al Horford.
Boston. I just had him staying. He's
smart.
Smart
Brad
veteran.
Stevens.
I think he will take a huge pay cut in 2-3 years because they're going to need to pay Tatum, Brown, But Terry Rozier stays because of Kyrie leaving to Brooklyn. And I think they're going to be really good.
We agreed about 50-50. Like, we agreed on a lot of it, but then there was...
I was just shocked. Like, Kyle Lowry, there's 30 teams in the league. We both picked Pistons. And not that. And then, like, what I loved, Cuzzo, is your Andre Drummond was great. And I thought I did a lot of, research on LaMarcus Aldridge.
Dallas.
And it's like, we're like, no, that makes good sense. And we kind of switched it.
We're NBA guys. But it's time to get locked in. But before we get locked in, you're liking this episode, you're enjoying this episode, 5 stars. Subscribe. Tell somebody. Put us on social media. Like the Locked In page to join the community. Disagree with us. Agree with us. Not even half, 75% of the time people disagree with my takes on the debate of the day. So I don't mind disagreement, but it's time to get locked in, Dave.
Okay. You ready? You want me to go first?
It's up to you.
I'll be simple, easy. My locked in is one of these players on Team LeBron, Team Steph, one of these major all-stars, top 10, top 20 player in the world. One of them will be a New York Knick in 2021.
I'm looking at my roster, and I have Kyrie Irving on like that
and
lineup.
Butler,
so
you have 2. I would love to, but at least one goes to New York.
Okay, I'll take it. My loss. This is kind of going out on a limb here. The Lakers will acquire Kawhi Leonard and Klay Thompson, and if Dave's correct, it's Klay Thompson and Anthony Davis with LeBron James in this young core. They win a championship next year. If they land the free agents that they land, that we have projected landing, I feel either or. Klay Thompson and Kawhi or Klay Thompson and Anthony Davis, with the team they already have, they win a championship next year. So maybe he gets an MVP this year, a championship next year. I'll take it. As a LeBron guy, I will take it.
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty good, man. That would definitely help the GOAT conversation for sure.
Yep. So thank you guys for getting locked in with us. You have any last words, Dave?
Hey, don't drink and drive.
Or don't text.
Yeah, don't text and drive.
It's a good message.
I just saved someone's life.
There we go. And like always, guys, stay locked in.
Yeah. You now locked in with the best. We ain't rocking with the rest. And when it's game time, we gon' put you to the test. Come the ball, we hitting it, kicking it, though. We dribbling, passing it, though. We running over. It's the ring that we flip you in. So what's the news? You want the scoop? You gotta keep it locked. To David Max podcast through your speaker box. What's poppin', my friend? You know the drop in. The only thing left to do is keep it locked in.